The Collector Network, this is Frank. We have the scoop on the hottest new antique mall that is just opened up in Long Beach, California, and the story rolls now. So I'm here, and what is the precise name of this business?
Urban Americana.
Urban Americana. Well, with all the names in the world, why did you choose to call it that?
Well, I like Americana, and I think young people are in tune with the word urban, and I think it's a good mix. I've had the name for years, although I've just opened the business.
So when you said you've had it for years, what were the enterprises that you were involved in that used the name?
I did just a garage sales out of my garage on the Urban Americana website.
And what city was that in?
Long Beach.
In Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
So where did you grow up?
In Los Alamitos.
Los Alamitos. Now, where's that?
It's about 5 miles from Long Beach.
I see. Is that where'd you go to high school?
Los Alamitos High School.
Ah, and I was wondering. So, when you went to school, did you go to college?
I did. I went to USC.
USC. Were you a film major or something?
No, I was an entrepreneur major.
You were an entrepreneur. So, what does an entrepreneur major? You mean you studied business or something else?
I studied entrepreneurship actually within the business program at USC.
I say.
So 20 years later, now I'm actually using that.
Finally an entrepreneur. Chris, I was wondering about the building itself. So, about how many square feet is the building?
The building is just over 16,000 square feet.
So 16,000 square feet. How would you describe, I mean, it seems like the iconic feature of this place is the ceiling.
Well,
when you talk to people over the phone and they ask you about how the place looks, how do you describe it?
Well, it's a mid-century industrial building. It's a 1957 warehouse. So when I bought the building, it was filled with offices and drop ceilings, and so it looked nothing like this.
So you actually bought the building?
I bought the building.
When was that?
We closed escrow 5 months ago.
Okay. And so you bought the building and closed escrow 5 months ago. But how would you describe the ceiling with those rafters, or since you have an artistic inclination, I see like a lot of art kind of stuff here. How would you...
It's very industrial for one, but what I did was we sandblasted the walls of the building, which were painted, and now they're exposed concrete.
I see.
We sandblasted all of the steel in the building. So the beams and columns were all painted, and we've sandblasted that down to the bare metal and sealed it just with a clear sealer to expose the the original elements of the building.
Now those white things, are those rafters?
These are just beams. These are just a wood beam
so
ceiling.
Those are beams.
Yeah, wood beam ceiling.
And there are skylights?
There were 18 skylights in the building. I added additional 15 skylights to the sections of the building where there were drop ceilings previously.
I see.
Original to the building drop ceilings, so there were never skylights in certain sections of the building. And so there's no lights on in the building right now.
So it's this well lit, and you don't have to use lights.
That's correct.
Have you had, since you've been here, have you had like a rainy day or something like that?
We do. These lights are on sensors. So when it starts to get dark, the lights will turn on.
Okay.
And if it get on a rainy, cloudy day, they could be on all day.
So in the short time you've been here, just a few weeks, how many times have the actual lights come on during the daytime?
They don't. They haven't. No.
Okay.
And during the summer, as daylight savings, as the times change, the lights, my hours will be 10 to 6. The lights will potentially never be on.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
So this is a very green kind of...
Well, it is, I think. And the nursery that I'm going to open outside is going to be...
Well, tell me about the nursery.
Okay, we're going to open up a drought-tolerant native California plant nursery, succulent nursery, on the outside of the property, on about 4,000 square feet of the side yard of the building, also wrapping around the front. And what we'll do on the back of my building back here, on the outside of the building, we're going to mount rain barrels. So next winter, if it ever actually rains, which it hasn't this winter, we'll capture the rainwater, and that should water the nursery all summer.
Gee.
So it is a green building in the sense of electricity.
How did you learn all this kind of stuff?
I'm just trying to save money, I think, and do good for the environment at the same time, I guess.
Wow, that's fantastic. So are there different kinds of succulents?
It's funny, we're walking by this space right now because Mike from Republic Goods, who has this space, is a landscape architect. That's his day job. He's done it for 20 years. So when I met him, Brian and Mike, to take this space, I started telling them about the nursery idea, and they sort of gave me this funny look. And then I learned what he did. So Mike is going to help me with the nursery because I'm new to it. I know that...
What's Mike's last name?
Mike McIver.
Would you spell that?
M-C-I-V-E-R.
Okay. So
he's a landscape architect, and he's going to, if somebody wants our landscape design services out of this facility, he'll do that for them. Ah. And then he's also just consulting and helping me with the nursery, designing it and deciding what plants to bring in.
So when you were doing the layout here, how did you come to the conclusion that you want to have it laid out this way? Did you look at other malls and see kind of how they were doing it, or did you base it on something entirely different than what the industry is already doing?
I think I did it differently in the sense that I wanted an open building. So I did my aisles at say a full 6 feet wide, and I'm limiting how high dealers can go with stuff inside these spaces.
And how high can they go with stuff?
In the inside, they're going to like 8.5, 9 feet. Around the edges, they can go to like 12 feet, 10 to 12 feet. But the sight lines in the building are important to me in the center, and I think I'm going after a younger market. And I think young people need to see antiques and vintage stuff in a setting where they can imagine it in their home.
I see.
And so I purposely did this, put a lot of thought into the layout and design of the building.
Sue Lennon, just like John.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And she has a shop. She has her own store in Venice.
And what's it called?
And it's called The Shop by H. Blue.
The Shop by H. Blue. That's like the color blue?
B-L-E-U.
Okay.
So she makes this stuff.
Wow.
And you can see she's used a hard hat to make a lamp. She's used an air filter. And this is an old, this bunk down here is an old bunk from a prison.
Wow. Look at that.
She repurposes and tries to make this stuff useful.
It's fantastic. She's got a sled there. And lights, and looks like something from a diner or something. And
right next door to Sue, this is Zach from Urban Vintiques, and he's in Camarillo.
So Urban Vintiques.
Urban Vintiques. And he's from Camarillo. Similar concept.
Helen Curtis.
He goes out and finds things and repurposes.
I can see. Well, this is very exciting. This thing, the newspaper legs, this is one of my favorite things. I don't think I've ever seen anything creepier than newspaper legs.
Well, there's a. Did you see the dealer in here? You were talking to Patty, who has the book pages on her wall.
I saw that. Yeah. That was fantastic. Yeah. That definitely caught my eye. Wow, that's fantastic.
And then there's dealers. These dealers Uber Chic Home.
So this is Dustin and Christian from what?
Uber Chic Home.
Uber Chic Home.
And they split time between Los Angeles. I believe they have a loft in LA and a house or a home in Utah. And they buy all the materials are old. So they're buying old drawers, old stock fabric, and they're making pillows, and they're making ottomans and dog beds and console tables.
Dog beds. Look at that.
This is a dog bed.
Oh, I love that.
And they can make one in a different size.
Wow. Well, there's certainly a...
And these guys are also repurposing. These guys are tearing down barns all over the country. So the wood on these walls, they tear down barns and they sell barn wood.
That's fantastic.
We're going to cover the walls of the nursery with barn wood.
And overstuffed chair with burlap, which I assume are probably real bags or something like that.
Yeah, gunny sacks.
Gunny sacks. That's fantastic. So gunny sacks is one of their one of their trademarks.
And military fabric. These totes are made of old military. There's a Swiss Army totes.
Oh,
fabric.
Look at that.
And we've sold a ton of these bags in less than a week. This is the same thing. This is,
oh my God!
This is more of the repurposing. This is Jennifer Price Studio.
Well, this is fantastic, though.
Yeah, and she's in Solana Beach, and she's in a building in Solana Beach with a few other dealers, and she's repurposed this windmill into wall art. And there was a heating grate we just sold a table made from a heating grate.
Okay, so this space that has this windmill Her name is Jennifer Price.
Her name's Jennifer Price, and her business is Jennifer Price Studio.
Jennifer Price Studio out of Solana Beach.
Solana Beach.
Is it on Cedros by any chance?
Well, what I do in Urban Americana is I promote the dealers.
Good.
So their tags, they're putting I'm promoting their other stores. There's a store, Solo, yeah, Cedros Design District, and she's in Solo. That's her other location.
Okay, fantastic.
And so they're allowed to promote their other spaces, and I want to help them grow their business.
The Stickley booth, or the
Craftsman, Arts and Crafts, and there's a lot of these homes in Long Beach, and Dennis has a space in Pasadena.
At the Pasadena Antique Center?
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense. So this is Dennis the regular way, and the last name is H-A-U-P.
T.
Oh, there's a T there.
I didn't put a T, but I guess he probably added that, so I have to go check his spelling.
I bet it has a T on it. We're going to go with the T.
Yeah.
So this is the most unusual booth here that I've seen. Well, this doesn't fit into everything else.
I love having this, and I was happy to get Dennis, and we should walk to Gary's space next, because I think it's industrial is fun and very popular right now. He's got 2 or 3 other locations.
Oh, is this Gary Raff?
This is Gary Raff.
R-A-F-F, Gary Raff.
And he has very traditional
I can see.
And he's probably the only one of a few in my building that has this, but I think there's a market for this in Long Beach. This section here is, I'm going to go after a younger market.
My God, is this Scott Wells and stuff, or whose is this?
This is Diane from Native Tile. Diane Mauser.
Oh, the Bashir Iron, I know him.
Sure. Is here. So I'm gonna market the building as a place where someone that buys an old home can come get help restoring it.
Well, fantastic.
And so if they want to redo tile, kitchens, bathrooms, fountain in the backyard, hardware, window curtain rods, and sort of trying to keep people from going to Home Depot to buy.
Certainly has the Golden California look here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this stuff will work with Spanish and arts and crafts homes.
So now, who is this again?
This is Diana from Native Tile, and this is Charles and Frank Bouchier from Bouchier and Sun Iron.
And be offering in addition to this.
Well, we're going to set up a design bar down at the other end of the building that I haven't set up yet, but we're going to build a bar and start building a reference library of coffee table books and architecture and design books. So when the same young couple that might have just bought a home says, we just bought an arts and crafts home, we have no idea what to do, we'll pull 10 books down, start pointing at pictures, and then we'll just consult with them. It's not something we're really going to sell out of here, but we'll say, look, if you need an iron guy, this guy can do your front gates, and if you want to redo a bathroom, Diana can do that, and it's just sort of a service.